Studios. You know, Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora is here for you every single Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time on youtube.com/wakeupcalldt, facebook.com/wakeupcalldt, and facebook.com/live-now-dt. You're also listening on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt and on wakeupcalldt.com's homepage. So definitely appreciate having you here, and thank you so much for being a part of the broadcast as always, as this outside of the Monday through Friday 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. hours here, doing yet another under promise over deliver, doing another show here. And this is the, as you can see, the Albany at Syracuse pregame show inside the Cafe Kubal studios. Cafe Kubal, hey, this game is at noon, so I'm going to be going, and because this is what I do. See, noon games is usually a very nice way for TV saying, we don't want to put you on television, but if we have to, you can play when everybody's getting up. And so, but what I like about the noon game is usually if the day's supposed to get hot, it's not that hot yet. You still get that coolness and the sun, and you can go and you get your coffee, get a little breakfast, get a little muffin, get a little something in your life. Mm-hmm. So I like rolling into the game like that, going out to Cafe Kubal, and I appreciate that. So I will enjoy my way in to the game by going to Cafe Kubal. You can actually go to 401 South Salina Street, 208 North Townsend Street, or 3501 James Street, are all right there by the Dome. Of course, 343 Fayette Street in Manlius, inside of Galisanos Children's Hospital in downtown Syracuse, is right down the road from the Dome. And you can also get there at the corner of Route 11 and Taft Road at Sweetheart Corners in their first ever drive-through location. So I will be at Cafe Kubal in the morning with my little wake-up call, pun totally intended. How are we doing, Mr. Alford?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
We're doing well, man, and happy to have you back here. Happy to be back here with the fans on YouTube and Facebook. We are previewing Albany at Syracuse, but we're also going to post-game a little bit, now that we've let it marinate, think about it. You and I were both at the Rutgers game, sitting right there in the press box, watching this game. In my opinion, Syracuse, the deflated feeling coming out of the Dome that Syracuse defeated itself. It didn't matter who the opponent was. Rutgers, I said if I was Greg Schiano, I'd have the team practicing at 5 a.m. Sunday morning saying, you guys didn't beat anybody. What did you and I were sitting right there, one seat off of each other. We saw the same game. I saw a team offensively beat the hell out of itself, and I saw a team defensively, once again, like last year, keep setting up an offense that just didn't answer the call. What did you see?
Exactly. Defensively, it couldn't have gone much better than what they showed on the field, and definitely offensively. In the beginning, they had a little groove going, and then they did. Yeah. Then they had some kind of phantom pre-plan. We're going to make a quarterback switch there, and then it kind of went off the rails a little bit, and they never really got the chance to get back together. But still, offensively, they got turn the ball over, and that really was the thing that really messed them up, because if you can't take care of the ball against a Rutgers offense that wasn't really doing anything against your defense,
Yeah.
And that definitely, it was a team that beat themselves, because Rutgers wasn't that much superior than they were, They just took advantage of, and they did the things that Rutgers, like I told you before the game, be careful. Rutgers, a very aggressive team.
Said it right here on the show.
Yeah.
You talked about the special teams.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's what Bresciano is known for, blocking field goals, blocking punts.
Yeah.
And, I don't know what the coaches saw in tape prepping for that, but that definitely was, you had to be ready for that. And it was disappointing to see that. What they were known for, they was able to execute against your team and stuff like that. So, it was a tough loss. I think emotions were very high after that game. But the more I sat and thought about it, it was just one of those games where they're going to look back at that game, hopefully, and it won't be that 6th win they need or whatever they need to get into a bowl game later in the season, because that game should have definitely went in their favor.
Yeah, and that's the thing, and that's a great point that you brought up, is this is, not that you can afford to lose any games, but if you're Syracuse and you're looking at the season and you're looking at ACC play, you had to really go 3-1 or 4-0 in non-conference, in my opinion, to have a fighting chance at 6-6. So where they're at right now, I thought their loss would come to Liberty.
Right.
And now I'm looking at a Syracuse team that's probably going to be 2-2 coming out of non-conference play, which means they're going to need to win 4 games in the ACC, and I don't see it happening.
Yeah. That side of the division is already tough as it is, and if you're trying to, take advantage of a FSU or Wake Forest or NC State, Boston College, so those programs are advancing forward themselves, and you see these guys are not taking advantage of the games that they should be taking advantage of. So it's going to be tough sledding, but we'll see where they come out. I mean, if 2-2, if they hit your prediction of 2-2, it's definitely going to be tough to see them get the 6 wins.
Yeah, I think that this team, again, we've spoken about it before, that it comes down, in my opinion, it comes to coaching. When you have a team that can do what this defense does, and the team is not, when you see individual success, you see what Sean Tucker did last year offensively. You see that Aaron Service can be a right tackle, a left tackle, a center. You see that, obviously Taj Harris has some talent out there, and then defensively, Garrett Williams, Jihad Carter, Rob Hanna, now Deuce Chestnut. In the NFL, Chill Williams, Ifatu Melifonwu, Andre Sisco, Mikel Jones, who's still here, Josh Black, McKinley Williams, Kingsley Jonathan, and the list goes. Marlo Wax, a young guy who's doing good things defensively. What it's showing me is if your team can, if your guys can play well individually, and you're not winning collectively, then what that's telling me is it's a coaching problem, it's a scheming problem, it's a decision-making problem, or it's a teaching problem.
Right. No, I totally agree. You definitely got the athletes to perform, but if you're not using them in the best way that gives them the opportunity to excel, it's just, what are you doing? You just sit back reacting to the other team. You're not taking it to the team and stuff. So it is unfortunate because you do see those guys out there playing and giving it their all, but and then it just takes that one momentum play that breaks their will, and then it's almost like that here we go again type feeling, and that definitely something got to be done coaching wise on both sides of the ball. They all take a part in that last loss, but it has to get better from here. We hope this next upcoming game, to me, they should be coming in this game ready to treat this almost like I ain't gonna say a scrimmage, but you need to take advantage of the opportunity to kind of put something out on tape.
Yeah.
To give yourself confidence, because like you say, that Liberty game coming up, those guys coming in the dome, just beating you last year, they're not coming in here worried about you. So
no,
and if you don't.
They're coming in here 1-0 in the last 2 years against you.
Right. And if you don't build an identity, because right now, if I ask you what is this team identity besides
nobody knows.
Defense, offensively, you can't say what they actually hang their hat on and will go out there and do. So
yeah, and the thing is, and you bring up a fantastic point by saying that, what is the identity of this team? If I asked you, you couldn't say it, and that is what the alumni say to me. That is what Rob Carpenter, Duke Pettijohn, Rob Drummond said when we were all sitting on the couch at the Wildcat Sports Pub. They said, what is this team's identity? It doesn't have it. There is no identity. It's been an identity crisis since they joined the ACC, and even before, is it was ground and pound. It was run the ball, play hard defense. Run the ball, play hard defense. And that's what they, even with Donovan McNabb, it was the option and play hard defense. It was the ability for him to roll out and either keep it or pitch it.
Right.
And so, Syracuse has hung their hat on that. BC's hung their hat on that. Pitt's hung their hat on that. And Syracuse just ran away from it. And that's the irony, is they ran away from who they were by not running the ball.
Right.
They ran away by not running.
Right.
And, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, if Syracuse said, hey, you know what, we're going to be RBU. We're going to go back to that. We're going to be RBU. We had Ernie Davis, Jim Brown, Floyd Little, Joe Morris, Larry Zonka, Rob Drummond. Mo Neal just had 2,560 yards, and he would have had more if they ran him right his first 2 years, averaged 5 yards a carry. on and on and on and on and on with these names and these players and these people. Rob Conrad, what he did it last time wearing the number 44 and then going on to the Dolphins to play with Marino. If they said today we're RBU, people would buy that.
Right.
And so why are you trying to sell oranges? I mean, Dino just recently wrote out orange is the new fast. And I'm sitting here going, okay, you said that when you came in, but I've said it to you. I was like, orange is the new 3 and out.
Right.
Orange is the new they are the new fast. They're on and off the field offensively. He's not lying. He's not actually selling you something that's not true. When Dino says orange is the new fast, it is. The offense is off the field before you can even blink. The defense took a break after the 29-yard missed field goal by Rutgers, and they stop them. They prevent a touchdown. The defense jogs off the field. Tommy comes out. The guy doesn't even get a hit on him. He just grabs toward his leg. He fumbles the ball because he had it down way too low,
right.
And he drops the ball. And here's the defense 15 seconds later. They didn't even get a chance to, remember when A-Rod had the opportunity to write his phone number and throw it up to girls? They didn't have a chance to do that.
Exactly.
And so to me, it's like orange is the new fast. Dino is not selling you something that's not true. The offense is off the field before you can even blink.
Yeah, and that's where the defense get worn out, because no team can last the defense constantly have to go on the field after 3 and out. I don't care what kind of Alabama team can't survive that type of constant going back and out, and they're taking more snaps than the offensive player on their side. You know what I'm saying? So you definitely can't do that. But in the beginning, there were little spots with that orange is the new fast gimmick. But to me, it looks like they regressed even from doing that part. Where the the quick passes to over the middle and all the other stuff that you used to see. But now they don't even do that. They stare down one half of the field.
Yeah.
And like you was telling me earlier, if it's on the sideline or it's not a catch, one or two. So I just don't get it.
They're trying to throw it. They're trying to throw it to the sideline so that the DB can't make a play on it. So the wide receiver is either going to make it or going to miss it.
Right.
And you see that a bunch of times Tommy will sail right over the head of the guy. He'll throw it too high. He'll throw it into the bleachers. He'll throw it too far out. But it's literally like you don't trust your receivers to make the play. You don't trust yourself as a quarterback to have good positioning on the ball. Mm-hmm. So you just throw it here because your DB is always going to be here. So you're throwing it at the sideline hoping that somebody will grab out and keep their feet in.
Right.
And the thing is, and where fans got really upset, speaking about like where the ball was going, was toward the end of the game where you never, ever, ever almost ever see Tommy DeVito check down. And what's he doing? But these weren't check downs. These were plays that were already predetermined, where he would hike the ball, stand, and he would just toss it to Sean Tucker, for 4 yards over the middle, 5 yards over the middle. And people are looking at this going, there's there's like 3 minutes on the clock. You're down by 10.
Right.
Like at this point, Syracuse's offense was so vanilla and bland at the end, and it looked like they were playing like they were up 10.
Right.
And I never understand that. Just go for it. Do something. I did not see, outside of the one play to Taj Harris, it was like 51 yards down the right sideline. Mm-hmm. I did not see Syracuse try one other play down the field.
No. That was probably maybe he missed Harris on one play, and he came back and hit him on the next series, I believe it was. But yeah, other than that, the missing of the tight end position on the field, it's just
again.
It's again, and it's like there's a whole wide open field there. Why are we targeting just sections of the field at a time? Is just what drives me nuts. So, we'll see what they can do. That's why I said this next game has to be something where they got to come out and develop a rhythm and say, hey, this is what we're going to do from here on out. I don't care who sees it on tape. You got to execute it first for somebody else. Got to defend it first. Because if you never show it to me, then why am I going to even try to practice the defending that? I'm going to constantly put pressure on you because I know you can't handle pressure. And you're just going to throw the ball to the sideline and it's going to go out of bounds and we're going to get 3 and out and we got the ball back. So.
Well, that's the thing that's what you learn to understand is that defenses no, we're going to give you this. We'll give you the 4 yards. We'll give you the sideline 3. I mean, they know Syracuse is not. They're not testing them down the field.
Right.
They're not pushing them down the field. I mean, just to get them to respect you a little bit, go down the field, try something. In the evening to Jermaine, appreciate you being here, but it's like, do something. And you're right. I mean, he did. He went to Taj. He misfired, and then he went to Taj again, and they clicked. And then Sean Tucker took the next play 24 yards to the house, and that was great. But Syracuse, they're not playing. It's a vanilla offense. There's really nothing. There's no reverses. There's no trick plays. There's no direct snaps to the running back.
Right.
I don't really feel like we see a lot of, I mean, sometimes, but not a lot of guys in motion. The tight end is not used over the middle. It's basic.
Right.
It's basic. And it's like, Aaron Hackett, why is he not here? He's not here because he shouldn't be. He's not here because as somebody who was there with Aaron Hackett, talking with him on the phone in his recruitment from Venice, Florida, Venice High School, he didn't deserve this.
Right.
Nobody deserves this. A tight end that wants to be involved in an offense, in the passing game, he did nothing wrong last year. And Luke Benson did nothing wrong last year. These were two guys that put themselves in fantastic positioning to be utilized, and they weren't. And when they were like 80% effective. And so, and over the middle, and in the end zone, and on the trick plays, and on the fake, and the over the top, fake the handoff, go over top. Mm-hmm. So to me, it's like, this offense is so vanilla. It doesn't even have a tight end in it. It doesn't even have 2 receivers in deep routes.
Right.
It's usually literally. I mean, if I said this on the show last year, this is cut and paste. If it's Taj down the right sideline, Taj down the left sideline, Taj down the right side. All it is deep to Taj. Mm-hmm. Deep to Taj. Anthony Quealy might be somewhere short. The tight end's never over the middle. Sean Tucker's somewhere there for you, but they're never checking down. I mean, the reality of it all is, I legitimately said last year, deep to Taj down the sideline that's their big play.
Right, and I don't know how defense can't stop that, because you see that one. That you just put a safety high over that.
But it's only one guy, too.
Right.
So if you see Taj running, I mean, why don't you have Taj and Quealy lined up next to each other and have them both run and split? Have them both run and cross each other. Right. Do something to mix it up, not knowing where the ball's going to go. But if Taj is lined up on the outside and he runs down the sideline, that's the only deep out that they go.
Right. And that's the other piece that drives me crazy, because when you look at this roster, they got some decent looking wide receivers on this roster with some height, and it drives me nuts to say, hey, why are these guys not getting opportunities to get in the game and at least kind of try to showcase what they got? Even when you get into the red zone, you can throw a jump ball maybe to somebody,
Why
they don't even
get
why that opportunity. So I don't know. I mean, it just gets frustrating.
Yeah, I mean, and it's frustrating to see that, these are things that, I mean, this is when I play pickup football, we got 2 or 3 guys lined up on the outside. I got 2 guys. When I was playing quarterback, we were playing flag football, I put 2 guys on one side, 1 on the other. And I would tell my guy, if something wasn't working, then I would call him over. And one of my guys that always went deep, I said, all right, you know what? You go deep. Everybody's going to think I'm going to Greg, because I always go to Greg deep, right? So, Greg, what I want you to do is I want you to jet like you're going down the sideline again, and I want you to make a cut 10 yards out and come right back to me, come to the middle of the field. You're going to be my check down, and I'm going to send the other 2 guys, and I'm going to have you guys run 5 yards, cross each other, and go.
Right.
So now people are thinking, well, he's not even looking on that side of the field, but now those are my deep balls, and then here's my safety net.
Right.
You know what I mean? And if I'm doing that in flag football, and I didn't play D1, D2, JUCO, nothing, like, how can you not think in your brain, if I'm saying to myself, this isn't working, guys, and I'm taking the football and I'm going, you're going here, you're going here. We didn't have a playbook. We would literally, every series, line up and say, this is what we're going to do.
Right.
So if I'm running them like that, and I do not have the arm of a D1 quarterback at all, and I'm running plays, and my plays are getting us down the field, or at least giving us a shot, then how is a Division I a coach not running a play?
Right.
That's what I don't get.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to attack Dino by any stretch of the imagination. I would say this about any coach. I don't understand the mentality of, if I in a pickup game can adjust, why are you not adjusting?
Exactly. And especially at this time, you see teams bringing pressure. So there always has to be a hot route somewhere on that package. You know, either you're going to play full protection and try to give them something deep or whatever. But I just don't get it. I mean, in this kind of offense, like I was telling you earlier, I would be, if I was the quarterback, I would be, wanting the defense to come at me. So, hey, okay, I can do the check down here or there. And then, like you were saying earlier, it's too late in the game when the defense, knowing they're going to give you, you don't have a false start, so it's 3rd and 15.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm going to give you the check down now. So, it's it's there. So, but, like I say, I want to see this game tomorrow to be a game where, I can see some progress. And somebody's got, like you saying, somebody's got an idea from watching tape. No, this is what we're going to be.
Yeah.
And go from there. So.
Yeah, do something. Try something. If I know, if Isaac and I know what your plays are, I think Albany does. Mm. I think Clemson does. I think Florida State does. To a good team, they go, okay, Taj on the outside, running deep. We should probably just have the safety cheat his way because the ball is going to go there. And Quealy, don't even look at Quealy because he's not going to go deep to him. And the thing is, you look at these guys and go, okay, he threw a completion to Quealy to start the game, and when did he find him after that?
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like Nykeem Johnson got out of this offense and transferred, and I don't knock him for doing it because he was such a weapon. And I kept saying to him, why don't they wildcat formation just pitch you the ball? Why don't they have you in the backfield? He's a small receiver. Mm-hmm. He was a scrappy guy. He was a fast guy. I'm thinking wide receiver reverse. I'm thinking pitch to him and let him throw. I'm saying, just have him in the backfield and pitch it to him. I'm saying check down, have him just come out, run be like right there next to Quealy, and then go 2 yards, turn and wait for it. I'm seeing 4 different ways that they can use Nykeem Johnson between a direct snap, a pitch, a reverse, having him cheat forward. There's all these different things that he can do. And when he caught the ball in the open field, you couldn't catch him.
Right.
So I'm sitting here saying to myself, Brisley Esteem, Nykeem Johnson, you have the weapons. What are you doing? And I understand Brisley was a few years back, but it just doesn't make sense to me to bring in these speedsters, tell me Orange is the new fast, and then not get the ball to your fastest players.
Right. And even Sean Riley recently had those opportunities. So either the defensive teams are just not respecting what you putting out there because it's so vanilla, or you just out scheme or out thinking yourselves, because there's opportunities. You can't tell me that these college athletes are that just dominant. They're trying to learn the game just as your team is. So there are opportunities out there for these guys to make some plays and stuff. And you see all the teams. I know there was a lot of talk. A lot of people want to compare this team to this team with athletes and size, but Syracuse team that they feel is almost no different than any other team that I watch in this conference, but yet other teams can find their Tutu Atwells and all these guys that they ain't the greatest size, but they the speedsters, and they can get them in open space and let them run with the ball.
Listen, I don't care how tall you are. When you're fast, get them the ball.
Exactly.
It does not matter. Get them the ball. And Syracuse has prided itself on having short guys. And I look at guys in the NFL like Darren Sproles and Austin Eckler. And, guys like James Robinson, who's out there right now. For goodness sakes, Maurice Jones-Drew, I'm a hair taller than Maurice. And he's 203, 204 pounds. And that man led the country with 1,600-plus rushing yards on an offense that was ranked 31st in the nation. Mm-hmm. They didn't have a good offensive line, and he still ran. So, you know what I mean? And looking at these numbers, Taj Harris, 2 games, 14 catches, 151 yards. Okay. But that's one game for other guys because they get targeted a lot.
Right.
But let's say Taj, let's say Taj 14 catches, let's say 7 and 7. That's pretty good, right? Almost 10 a game. So that's fine. Sherrod Johnson, 4 catches, 42 yards. Quealy, 3 catches. Sean Tucker in the backfield, 4 catches, and 2 of those came late in the game against Rutgers. Courtney Jackson, 2. We're looking at I'm looking at Luke Benson, 1 in 2 games. I'm not seeing these numbers and going, oh, wow, these receivers can't get open. They're terrible. I'm looking at this thing going, what in Sam hell is this offense doing that Anthony Quealy in 8 quarters has 4 catches? There are 3 catches. That Sherrod has 4. that Courtney Jackson has 2. And Cooper Lutz has 2 catches and Sean Tucker has 4. They're running backs. Check down. They have 6 combined in 2 games. Mm-hmm. This is telling me that your vanilla passing offense can't even get the ball to the guys by the line of scrimmage.
Right. And you know what? Another thing I was thinking about too when I was watching that, they changed personnel so much.
Yeah.
You got guys running on and off the field. They don't give guys opportunity to just get in the rhythm. It's constantly tight end out. Receiver in, and this guy's on. I'm like, so how are you gonna? You got to show me a play, and then let me think on defense that you running that play, but you do something, countering that play.
If you bring in Luke Benson only when you're looking to throw him the ball, it was like what the Jets did with Tim Tebow. They're like, okay, everybody's cameras down at camp. We don't want anybody to see this. But in a game, anytime Tim trudged out onto the field, the Jets ran the ball.
Right.
They 1 time, 2 times pass the ball. So 99% of the time, they see Tim coming out, they know it's a pass.
Right, exactly.
So that's the thing. It's like, okay, why not you bring Sean Tucker and Cooper Lutz out together?
Right.
And now know where the hell the ball's going. And gosh forbid, one of those guys can get the ball, another guy can block.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You got 2 extra block. If you have issues with the offensive line, you got 2 extra blockers back there then.
And maybe release a tight end.
Right.
If you're going to use them to block, let the tight end release and go.
Yeah, so have Sean Tucker fake and then block, and then have Luke Benson go out. Have Maximilian Mann go out. Use what you have. I mean, but we're talking basic. If your vanilla offense isn't doing this, then it's not even vanilla offense. Mm-hmm. This is like that vanilla that's like that yellowish white that you don't know, like, is it vanilla? This is the difference between Carvel and gas station vanilla ice cream.
Exactly.
And so it's like, yeah, it's vanilla, but it's vanilla it's like vanilla that's not so much vanilla. It's the vanilla where it's like, is that a nail that's in there? This is the vanilla ice cream where it's like, how long has this been on because it's so boring. It doesn't even have the most basic pieces.
Right, and you telegraphing it. That's the problem.
Right, you hike and you when the commentator of a game can go, wow, Tommy DeVito told us all where he was going because he never took his eyes off Courtney Jackson.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. When you bring in personnel groupings and stuff,
you're
already telegraphing what you're going to do. Because you don't do anything to counteract what that group does. Every time this guy goes in, this guy comes out, okay.
This is what it
means.
We've
seen this formation already, so we know what he likes to do. And this is the only thing this guy does. So.
Cooper Lutz is in, we know he's going to run the ball.
Right.
And the thing is, all a coach has to do is go, hey, guys, every time you see number 24 come in, what has happened? It's a run up the middle. Okay. Every time you see number 3 go out wide on the right, it's a pass. It's like, it's so vanilla, it can't even taste good. Yeah. And it's like, give me a twist. Give me a little vanilla and chocolate. Give me something else. Give me like vanilla and raspberry. Dip the cone in cherry or bubble gum. Put sprinkles on it. Like, at least make it look like it's an actual cone that I want to eat.
Exactly.
And now I'm hungry.
You know what? One play I do remember though, last season. I think this was a Duke game, and it was Benson. And this is something the Green Bay Packers kind of do. They take the tight end, and the Kansas City Chiefs does this all the time with their tight ends. Instead of having them cross in front of the line of scrimmage, when he goes behind the line, he disappears, and the linebackers lose him. And I think that's how Benson went around us. He did like a wheel route, and they threw a long touchdown pass to him. I don't think I've ever seen that play again in the playbook. So when you do something successful, why don't you go back to it until somebody stop it?
You ran the ball the whole time against Ohio.
Right.
44 times to 17 passes, and then you do almost nothing on the ground. And Sean Tucker, 24-yard touchdown run, and then he disappeared.
Right, because you don't stick the identity thing.
And it's not because he's not good.
Right.
He's got 235 yards in 2 games. He's averaging 6.2 yards a carry. He has 2 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we've seen Abdul Adams for 3 attempts. We've seen Jarvion Howard run the ball 1 time. We've seen Cooper Lutz run 9 times for 32 yards and lost a yard, so had 31. But, I mean, Sean Tucker's numbers are good.
Right.
Sean Tucker's numbers are reputable. I mean, you look at this, break it down, it's over 100, even though it was 181 and then 54. He still had a touchdown, and he had 4 catches at in this game against Rutgers, those were all of his catches this season.
Right.
And again, these came at the end when they were giving it to the offense because they were keeping everything in front of them. But I mean, it doesn't make sense to me how I'm looking at Sean Tucker and saying, okay, you ran him 25 times against Ohio, you ran him 13 times against Rutgers, you ran him half the time. Well, Dan, what wasn't working? Nothing else was working.
And it is not like that game was out of hand where you had to give up on the run either.
A 17-7 game was a perfect time to run the ball.
Right. Maybe that time when you fumbled the ball, when it was stripped out of hand, you should have been running the ball. It's just, sometimes they got to stick to it. And if you got to change, you got to use the same grouping to change the personnel play or whatever the case may be. Because, like you say, once you start telegraphing who's in and who's not in, then I'm gonna play to those what I see when I watch film of Syracuse.
Well, I mean, I think if you're a DB, if you're a linebacker and you're spying, you see this guy come in and you got to be on the field going, this person must be stupid. Like I saw this 3 plays ago. Okay, so I'm gonna look at the interception. You know what I mean? It's like I mean, you look at, and for goodness sakes, at the end of the game, Rutgers, DeVito threw the ball right to him, and the guy looked confused. He caught it and was like,
"Yeah, I think the ball caught him instead. He catch
the ball literally came right to him, and you saw him go, "Oh, okay." You know what I mean? I'll take a knee. And so I mean, you have a quarterback who stares down his receiver. You have plays that are so vanilla. So if we know where the plays are going as fans and as broadcasters and as people in the media and writers, if we know where the ball is going, then I would venture to hope Schiano knows where the ball is going, that Albany knows where the ball is going, that Rutgers knows where the ball is going. So you're not only playing a knockoff vanilla offense that's even less vanilla than vanilla, but now you got a guy, so you're telegraphing the actual scheming, and you're telegraphing from your quarterback. So your quarterback's looking where he wants to go, and you already have put the play on film and the personnel on film of what they're going to do. So how are you going to beat anybody when your quarterback is staring at his receiver and going to his first read, and your entire offense is on? And that's the thing, is why don't you allow us in practice? If you're putting everything on film, what are you hiding?
Right.
Oh, no, I didn't know that one of your 3 plays was going to be used today. And I know it sounds like I'm being critical, but what I'm saying is the fans left in the third quarter, and what I heard coming out of what people wrote into me is if this is the same stuff that we had to see when we were here 2 years ago in the Dome, we're not coming back. Right. We're not going to watch the same crap again. And I don't fault them for that.
Exactly. You got to put a better game plan and effort out there. And because this offense, you know what, it's based on execution, and when they can't even execute it, like you say, it's just 3 and out and go back to the sideline, because classic play, 2 plays, Taj gets the long pass, and then the defense is a little gas, and you give it to Tucker, and he runs it into the end zone.
Yeah.
2 plays that was executed. But when they can't consistently do that, then there's no team's going to fear that. They said, all right, stop this. Now, once you stop first down, it's like they have no clue where to go.
Yeah.
Because that didn't work. So what are we going to do next?
And you don't see the effort.
Right.
You don't see the effort. You don't see a team. You don't see an offensive scheme. You don't see a game plan to win. I mean, the fans are, it's third and whatever, and you see them just run the ball just so they can get good positioning on the punt, and fans boo that.
Right.
And the thing is, these fans have not been in the stands for almost 2 years, from November of 2019 to September of 2021, and they booed Dino in the opening game. They have been out of the Dome for almost 2 years. The Dome has been completely redone inside, outside, looking beautiful. And fans said, lipstick on a pig.
Right.
Lipstick on a pig. That's all this is. Mm-hmm. And I did. I caught these people walking out like, I'm not watching this again. I'm not going to do this again. Mm-hmm. The definition of insanity. Like the way that Syracuse played against Rutgers, they might as well just write 1-11.
Right.
And Ohio's going to be like, don't we look stupid? You know what I mean? But it's like, if this is how you're, really though, if this is how you're going to play, you're not going to win another game.
Right. Yeah, not that effort from
because I'm going to guarantee you Albany is not that vanilla.
Right.
Albany's going to be out there tricked. Like when I'm watching, I'm more excited to watch Albany's offense than Syracuse's. I'm more excited to see how are they going to run the ball. Are they going to use a split back? What are they going to do on 3rd and 5? Will they go for it on 4th and 2? Will they go for it on 4th and 1? Are they going to fake this? Are they going to use a reverse? I mean, we saw Rutgers toward the end of the game try out. Rutgers was like, screw it, we won. They're doing nothing, so they tried a reverse.
Right.
Which I would have said to Schiano, why don't you hold that in the playbook because you don't need it in this game. And it was late. But, to him, it's like, hey, you know what? Why don't we have the punter throw? Because they're not going to do anything on offense. When you know the team you're playing against cannot move the ball, it doesn't matter. And how many times last year, Syracuse on the road at North Carolina had a chance, gave it up. Syracuse at Pitt had a chance, gave it up. Because it was defense. It was defense. It was defense. It was defense. And you get to a point where you just get lethargic. You get pissed. Mm-hmm. When you're in this game, and I spoke to Josh Black about it, I said, you're in your red zone. You prevent a touchdown, as I said earlier. They try a 29-yard field goal. It goes wide right. The next play, your quarterback fumbles in your red zone. You come back out on the field. You prevent another touchdown, and they try a 27-yard field goal, and they make it. Any other good teams got 14 on your butt then. But this defense prevented 14 and gave up 3.
Right.
In the red zone on back-to-back. And so that's where I'm getting frustrated going, this game, if it's not for a dropped ball here, if the defense didn't do this and that, Syracuse's offense would have lost 31-7, 40-7. Mm-hmm. So you know what I mean? It's like you can't look at this team and say the team isn't good. You say the offense is not moving the ball, the scheming's not right, the telegraphing's not right, some of the personnel's not right, they're underutilizing other people. There's so many mistakes offensively, and the head coach is known to be an offensive guru, yet Tony White's running this defense, and I love watching the defense.
Yeah, that is the show, the defense, And it's, like you say, so basic. Only thing you have to do is get first downs to keep the fans in the game. And that's the key part to moving the ball. Just gain first downs and then get in the end zone, red zone, and score. But if you can't do that, then you're definitely going to lose the interest of the fans.
If you can't move the ball down the field in the game against Rutgers, how am I supposed to think you're going to do it against Clemson? Against Florida State, against Louisville, against BC, against Pitt, against NC State, against Wake Forest. Mm-hmm. What does Dave Clawson do at halftime? He adjusts. What does Syracuse do every time they go to Louisville? They lose. It doesn't matter who the quarterback is. Mm-hmm. What happens when Syracuse goes to Florida State? Florida State could embarrass Syracuse and win by 30 after losing to Jacksonville State. No, exactly. Because the thing is, when your offense, but this is the offense. It's not that they don't have talent, but what are you doing? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's like this defense is like, mofo, I'm going to be here all day long, and I'm going to take a 50-point game and make it 20. Can your butt score 21?
Exactly.
Like, they're not even asking them to do a lot. They looked at the offense and said, just score 20. Mm-hmm. Just score 19. Dang it. Get close enough to kick 5 field goals. But that's the frustration that I think fans are having and people are having, and I'm having watching this, is that the defense is sitting here and it's like, you're not getting as much takeaways as last year. This defense is good. Takeaway or no takeaway, they're preventing touchdowns in the red zone.
Right.
And Garrett Williams told me last year, he goes, last year we would have crumbled. Last year, in a game against Ohio, when we got backed into our red zone, we would have made mistakes and we could have lost the game.
Right.
This year, look at what we're doing. You put us in the red zone. No, you can't have this.
Right.
But you know how debilitating it is to be a defensive end and prevent a touchdown, or to have Michael Jones come through on that 4th down try, and he had the running back before the running back even, like, the running back literally caught the ball and Michael was there.
Right.
and he throws him backward, you're looking at, there was, 4 sacks in the game? Caleb Okechukwu got involved. Josh Black got involved. Multiple guys are involved in this. So you're seeing Syracuse get to the quarterback, get to the running back, stop him on 4th down, stop him in the red zone. What else do they have to do?
You can't ask much more from the defense at that point, But when we talk about the offense, they got to be able to impose their will on something. You talk about Florida State, and I remember the year with Cam Akers at Florida State. Literally, and Blackman was the quarterback. Literally, the quarterback was so bad, they just gave the ball to Cam Akers, and he literally just won that game.
Yeah.
Syracuse should have probably beat Florida State if they would have had a functional offense that year.
Yeah.
But they got the defense so tired, and Cam Akers just said, Travis Etienne, when we held down in Clemson, miracle Dabble got in his mind. I guess I should just give it to my running back. Trevor's out of the game.
Yeah.
Just give it to the running back so we can wear these guys down. That's what our offense is not capable of doing for right now. They can't impose their will on another team and say, hey, we're going to do this until you stop it. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the truth of it. I mean, they can't, do certain however many plays it takes. I mean, you don't have to open up the playbook to every scheme or whatever it is, but do what you do well. And until that team can't stop it, then you adjust to that. Like you say, Wake Forest make adjustments based on what you did to them in the first half.
Yeah.
They always got the backup. So we can't even get to step 1 to make the adjustment. That's the problem.
Yeah, and that's the thing is it's, you have to be able to, it's read and read. I mean, it doesn't, when I'm watching from the press box and I say, okay, Wake Forest is losing 21-3.
Mm-hmm.
Dave Clawson's going to come out of halftime and be better prepared than Dino is. I know he is.
Mm.
And, Dave Doran, he's going to be prepared. He's going to come after. Like, you make if a coach in 15 minutes can make an adjustment and you're sitting there in 15 minutes and you can't make it, that's telling me something. You know what I mean? It's saying something to me. You got other ACC quarterbacks. Are they all looking down their receiver? Are they all only going here? Or are they surveying the field? Are they using their checkdowns? I mean, for goodness sakes, Travis Etienne with Trevor. If he was in trouble, boom, there you go. Right. Might be 1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, go.
Right.
And so you can't sit here and tell me, well, this quarterback can survey the field. This quarterback can make these reads. This quarterback's footwork, not staring down and telegraphing your passes, check downs. This is what this is what a quarterback should know.
Right.
A head coach. This isn't working. Let me try some. You know what? Let me come back and throw a deep route to Taj in the second half because in the first half they stopped it, but I'll do it again.
Well, you know what? And if you're going to live by that, continue to live by that because if you don't constantly do that, the defense is not going to back off.
Yeah.
They're going to say, all right, yeah, he did it that one time. And if you don't make it, they know they got you in your back pocket now. They're all right. He's too afraid to throw that pass. So why even defend
Well,
that?
why not put Quealy on the right side and put Taj on the left side and then go to Quealy and then go to Taj and then a little bit of Benson. If you spread it, I mean, you say Ryan Nassib would throw to 9 different guys.
Right.
And what does that do? It opens. Dungy would do it. Throw to 11 different players. It opens up the offense. I don't know where he's going to go.
Right.
I don't know what he's going to do. So the question that we have moving forward is, and I respect Tommy DeVito, and I like his family, and I care about every player on this team. So please understand when we are sitting here constructively criticizing, I respect Dino. I appreciate the staff. I appreciate the players. I'm saying reality because I can't sit here and say anything looked good offensively against Rutgers because it didn't.
Right.
I could say the defense looked good, the offense did not at all. If I was Greg Schiano, telling you 4:30 in the morning, I'd be blowhorning saying, "Get your butt out here in the frickin' mist where you are running laps because you did not beat anybody."
Right.
I'd be like, y'all stood on the field and watched a team. It reminds me of when Jim Carrey in Liar Liar when they go into the bathroom and he goes, "I'm kicking my ass. Do you mind?" When he's beating himself up. Right. Rutgers literally was the guy in Liar Liar that walked into the bathroom seeing Jim Carrey punch himself in the face.
Right.
That was Syracuse's offense. So I ask you this question. How much longer do you ride DeVito having had him for 3 years now, how much longer do you hold on?
Like I told you earlier, this next game is going to determine, and I would, if it was me personally, you get this half and you get this half, and let's see what you got. Because if you're not capable of performing well in this game, then you need to just hold the clipboard and let somebody younger come in and get some experience. Because you already spent however many years into this offense, and you haven't shown the ability to, like you say, check down, make quick reads, or do whatever it needs to be done. So, to me, this is open competition, this next game.
Well, and the thing is, you have 4, due to COVID, you have 4 freshman quarterbacks. 4. Then you have Garrett's a sophomore, and then you have redshirt junior Tommy DeVito. So here's the thing. It's not just Schrader. If I'm one of these 4 freshmen, and Tommy's make a mistake, and Dino's like, put him back out there, I'm transferring.
Right.
If I'm Jacoby and Morgan, sayonara, Sammy. If I'm Luke McPhail, if I'm Justin Lamson and I came across the country to watch myself sit here and watch fumbles and interceptions and 3 and outs 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 and 3 and outs, because that's what it becomes.
Right.
There should be a 3 and out stat that's always up at the Dome. 19-1. You know, like, I mean, it's just like the other team, okay, maybe they had 2 3 and outs, maybe 4 3 and outs. Punters from Syracuse go to the NFL because they have the most film.
Right.
They're extremely, like, if I'm a punter, I would come to Syracuse because I'm going to get a ton of playing time. I'm going to get a ton of opportunities. I'm going to get a ton of yards. I'm going to be friggin' amazing. They're going to look at me and go, wow, that guy punted the ball 167 times and the rest of the country punted 45 times.
Exactly.
So, I mean, if I'm Riley Dixon, I'm going, baby, yes. If I'm Rob Long, take me here, please.
So you're saying Syracuse is punter you?
Yes. Right now, they're PU. They are PU right now. And because, I mean, for serious, though, and it is, it's just, when you look at this team, do something. Let the fans know that there's something to watch. But if I'm a quarterback and I'm saying DeVito's got a leash that is so long, by the time it actually tugs on the doghouse, he's already over the Atlantic Ocean on the other continent. So if I'm Schrader, and I'm telling you this is my I don't think Schrader's going to do this. I don't get from his personality that he's going to just sit and go, okay, coach, okay. I feel like he's going to get to a point and go, I played in the SEC. Your boy ran 112 times for 122 yards. In the same season, I ran 113 for 587. I averaged 5.6 yards a carry. He averages 1.1. My pass off balance on the run across my body to midfield was a completion. When he's set, he can't complete it. So what are you doing with me? If I'm Schrader, I'm going, Dino, why did you bring me here? And if I'm one of those 4 guys behind Schrader, I'm going, man, if this boy ain't playing, my butt is never going to play.
Exactly.
So Syracuse needs to understand something. If you ride an offense that doesn't move and they continue to be led off a cliff, I'll put it to you like this. If the Titanic was in the ocean again, we all know that icebergs are bad. If you see it in the distance, you start to turn the wheel, right? Right now, we're flying headfirst into this iceberg, and Dino's going, I think we'll miss it. And Schrader's going, bro, are you serious? And I'm telling you, I honestly think Syracuse needs to understand something. If they don't make this a quarterback competition, you may not have any quarterbacks to compete because these 4 guys might bounce. The transfer portal is pretty, and everything's kind of open season in college football. And if I'm one of 5 guys that's sitting here going, this is what our offense looks like, and I don't even get a shot.
Right.
A shot.
Right.
Like, can Lamson as a true freshman do worse than fumbling in his own end zone? Telegraphing his passes?
I hope not. Now, let me ask you about telegraphing down where this situation with this quarterback competition, or what you want to call it, do you think they're telegraphing Schrader, though? Because I can look at the Rutgers game when he came in.
Yeah.
Rutgers was like...
He's running.
Exactly. They were like, let's crowd the line of scrimmage. And,
right. That's what they did with Tebow.
And bring pressure. We're not... Yeah. If he don't throw it, we're going to be all on top of him.
Because one of the plays where he got sacked, when he was deep in his own territory, speaking of Schrader, I played the film with Charlie Loeb. He hiked the ball and he went like this, and he's like literally standing there and in his head going, I'm supposed to make a move, but they're already there.
Yeah, right.
So it's like, if DeVito's in, he's passing. If Schrader's in, he's again.
Telegraphing
again
by personnel group. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Don't change. I mean, he has a skill set of running with his legs. Great. But don't change the offense where there's one guy's this and one guy's that.
You want to know how you take that away? Let Schrader play the whole game against Albany.
Right. Right.
Because what do you got to lose?
Yeah.
If you lose to Albany, pack up and just stay here.
Right.
If you lose to Albany, I'm gonna paint a picture for you folks. Tickets for Syracuse Albany are $5.
Mm-hmm.
$5. Tickets to the New York State Fair used to be $10. Tickets to the movie theater are $13. To a nice movie theater where you get the big old screen and the sound, $16. Okay? It cost $5 to go to this game.
Is that too much?
If you can't fill 50,000 seats on $5, I had $5 as a kid. I had a bunch of $2 bills. I had $5.
But is that a smart $5?
But that's what I'm saying is, if you can't put it on, what do you have to lose?
Yeah.
Play Schrader. Play him. What did Dino say? He said to us in training camp in the fall, he said, yes, I know what DeVito, I see what he can do, and I'm seeing what Schrader does, but I got to get Schrader in games because nothing can simulate games, and I see him in practice, and I look at the skill sets, but Tommy's got film, and Schrader doesn't have film with us, and I want to put him on the field. So this is Albany, and I'm not trying to disrespect Albany.
Right.
I'm just trying to be real about this, okay? When Citadel and Clemson played, Trevor Lawrence could go get a nap, go night-night, for 3 quarters, for a half.
You said with Citadel?
Yeah, when Trevor Lawrence played Citadel.
I thought you would say when they played Syracuse, because they would do that too, beat us with the backup.
Oh, yeah.
That's the bad thing too. Other teams in your conference can beat you with their backup.
Okay, Chase Bryce.
Exactly.
Chase Bryce. When my guy Evan Foster knocked out Trevor Lawrence cleanly, Chase Bryce came in and beat you.
Right.
And when the pass wasn't working, what did Dabo do? Oh no, I have a running back. Maybe I should let him run the ball for a minute. So to me, it's so frustrating to see every other team adjust. And it's like, you know what, Dino? Throw out your playbook this week and just literally copy whatever the Albany coach does, and I guarantee it'll be a game.
Yeah.
Copy his adjustments. Just throw it out. Because what are you doing at halftime? What is halftime? What is the halftime conversation? I would love to know. Hey guys, is Syracuse becoming DC? And is every team they play Marvel? When Marvel goes, hey, this is how you make $1 billion, and DC goes, thanks guys, we're going to do the opposite, we'll be fine.
Right.
It's just show me why this offense, why this quarterback, why. I have nothing against DeVito, I have nothing against Babers. Again, I respect these guys, I appreciate these guys, I like these guys. I'm saying from specifically a schematic, specifically coaching, specifically decision making. If Garrett Schrader was telegraphing everything, I'd say the same thing. If Garrett Schrader never checked down and never looked at the field, I'd say the same thing. If Scott Schaefer was running this offense, I would say, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
So I want this to know, this is not a personal attack. This is me saying exactly how the fans are feeling, but in a nice way. Because the fans were very clear to me after this game.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that they feel after this game is Rutgers was a you-know-what show. Albany does not matter to these fans. Liberty, you better avenge yourself. Outside of that, these fans are not going to be sold by the Albany game. You got to beat them by 3 touchdowns. But you know what fans are probably going to do? They're going to go like this. They're not going to go to the game. They're going to go, oh, 40-7, we're in good shape. Or they're going to go 10-7 fourth quarter.
Exactly.
It's one of two things. But they don't need to come to this game because they didn't want to come to this game at the beginning of the season. But what you did against Rutgers, now they really don't want to come to this game. So I'm asking Dino, you want the fans to come. And how many times does a coach at halftime break trow of his halftime conversation to turn and just look at the fans and say, you can't leave the dome, we need you here?
Yeah. For what?
For what?
Yeah.
That's like Vin Diesel saying, I'm making another Babylon AD movie, please don't leave. That's like Sandra Bullock going, Miss Congeniality 3, Dan, this one's going to be a doozy. Sex in the City's back, can't miss. You know what? Spoiler alert, they're going to get drunk, they're going to have sex with somebody, and they're probably going to go on vacation. So, all I'm saying is we should not be able to tell you Syracuse's playbook. If Isaac and I can do it, then everybody and their mother, who's an actual coach, is going to figure it out.
Right. And
that's all I'm saying.
And football's, like you say, football's copycat.
Yeah.
All I got to do is see what you just did, and dang, you can't even figure that riddle out. So why am I going to bring out my best plays or my best schemes?
Yeah. What did Rutgers do?
Right. Exactly.
What did they do? What did they do offensively? Tell me one play that made you go, oh my God, Rutgers. Nothing.
Right.
They showed nothing. Nothing to anybody. And
we outgained them offensively. That's how bad that offense was.
Well, that's like last year when you're looking at it going, Syracuse recovered 3 fumbles and they lost by 10?
Yeah.
Syracuse is down by 20 and they got 2 interceptions. I mean, if you look at stat sheets, when you outgain a team, you should beat them. When you have multiple takeaways, when you have 3 or 4 takeaways, 3 fumble recoveries, and an interception, and you lost, that's unheard of.
Right.
That's an enigma. That's like Syracuse going in the Guinness World Records for finding ways to lose that we didn't think were possible. So, all I'm saying is, if it's not working with DeVito, try Schrader. If your vanilla offense is so bland and boring, for the love of the good, I'm going to tell you something flat out. There is not a coach in this country that's going to be ready for Dino. Right now, the element of surprise is with Dino because your offense is so boring. Literally, anything you do, coaches are going to go. I mean, anything. Wildcat forward. I mean, you can remember when like all they did. What would Dungy do? Fake over the top.
Right.
And it worked.
Right.
Because they didn't do it a lot. But it's like your offense is so boring and so nothing that literally, if you lined up with 3 wide receivers running deep routes, nobody would know what to do.
Yeah.
They'd be like, wait, we got to cover 3, not just 1? How many times have you seen Syracuse? I mean, in this last game, did you even pay attention to any other receivers? You see Taj running down the field, you're like, okay, these guys can sleep.
Right. Or the concepts of the routes are so close, it doesn't even matter. One's going this way and one's going that way, but they're going to the other defenders. You know what I'm saying? So they're canceling each other out when you're watching this stuff. So it doesn't make sense. Whatever route tree or whatever you want to call it that they're running, it just doesn't make any sense. And especially when I can see the safety, the linebacker all coming on a blitz.
Yeah.
And the middle of the field is wide open.
4 yard out, 4 yard out, deep to Taj. Quealy, you'll get 1 pass a game because we love you, boo. It's and again, it's not because the receivers aren't talented.
Right.
It's not because Sherrod Johnson and Anthony Quealy and Taj Harris. It's not because they can't. And it's not that Sean Tucker is not talented or Cooper Lutz is not talented. Again, taking the ball away from Sean.
Right.
Sean in the beginning is running and he's getting the ball, and you're seeing him go, oh, wow, he just got through that line. He got another extra yard. And then Dino's like, no more.
Right. But that's what I'm saying.
Run it till it doesn't work.
Or give the guy some reps where he's getting lathered up. It's like, okay, first 2 series is Sean. Next series, Lutz going out here.
Right.
So now
I got to get
another back warmed up.
Yeah.
To do something. It's like.
Or bring Sean out and Abdul and then pass the ball to Abdul. Ain't nobody going to be ready for that.
Exactly.
All I'm saying is, for the hundreds of thousands of dollars that you pay your people, Isaac and I are giving you plays. So, and I know Syracuse does not pay them like the rest of the ACC, but we'll take whatever you're giving because what you're giving is obviously too much.
Right.
Wow, that was rough. I felt that fire in my belly. But I mean, you know, I said this. I was like, you know, I said the way I feel about it is the defense is Ohio State, the offense is Akron.
Mm-hmm.
I'm bored on offense. I expect them to go 3 and out on offense that I don't even pay attention.
Right.
I just want to like check out because I'm like, oh, okay, we're punting the ball again. We just got it. And the thing, it's just open up the. What are you waiting to open up the playbook? We can't come to practice because nobody can see your plays, but you have no plays.
And if this is what you've been practicing all week.
And what are you waiting for?
Yeah.
Well, we're waiting for Clemson because we got to. Shouldn't you try them against other people?
Right. Yeah, you would think.
If I'm Clemson, I'm licking my chops, going, "We're going to win this 70-7."
Because there's the difference between scheming against a Clemson when the athlete on the other side of the line of scrimmage is just that dominant. It don't matter what you do.
But this isn't about domination. This is about it's not even good play.
They're going to be all over you before you even time to execute.
You're saying the best plays that you run, they're going to be there.
Right.
But when these plays are this garbage, this is not even a challenge to Clemson.
Right.
If I was a Clemson DB, I'd be like, this is not even. This is not even making me better.
Mm-hmm. I get more out of practice than I do with the game when I play against that.
Yeah, I get more out of being in the backyard with my little sister because she runs routes. I think my dog runs better routes because I don't know which way she's coming at me. You know what I mean?
Right.
But like, I don't understand because you have a coach who's known to be an offensive mind. But the only thing that looks good is your defense. And then to say, oh, when we brought in this other punter, it's because he knows how to do this special kick. And I was like, is that special kick an 8-yard kick? What was special about it? Well, he knows how to do this. It's like, no, you leave. Again, why are you changing what works? James Williams, he's a true freshman. He's doing fine.
Right.
He's not doing anything wrong. Trevor Pena, he's doing fine. Yes, he fumbled that one, but he's doing well at returning kicks and punts.
Right.
So let it be. Sean Tucker, doing fine. Sean should have, again, I'm going to say 20 carries a game. Why not? Why not? Syracuse, they do it to you.
Mm-hmm.
Duke does it to you. North Carolina does it to you. They run the ball down your throat all the time. You can't say these guys can't take it.
Right. And as an offensive lineman, what would you rather do? Would you rather be pass blocking or run blocking?
Run blocking.
Exactly. You want to be the aggressor. You want to be backpedaling.
And there's less mistakes.
Right. You know exactly where you're going instead of, now I'm backpedaling and I got to watch this guy or this guy's coming through this gap.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think that was the thing about the Marone years is that he got those guys aggressive, you know, and we're going to run the ball and pound it to you and wear their defense out.
I might fall out of the press box if one of the quarterbacks pump fakes. I might fall out. The camera guy will be like, "Oh my god, I have to go down the field." But
exactly,
you know, it's just gotten so vanilla that you know what play is for who.
Right. Actually, it's so vanilla, I get nervous because I'm thinking the DB knows it's vanilla and they're about to jump this route. Because I'm seeing it coming, I'm like, oh, jeez.
Well, we know it.
Right.
So he should know it.
Right. So
if he's doing his
job.
But
I'm actually surprised when they don't react to it, too.
Yeah.
They just tackle the guy, but I'm just like, I will be all over that play.
How about this? Throw the ball to Luke Benson the first 4 times in the game. Nobody will be ready.
Exactly.
Because nobody will even know he's on the team.
Yeah.
And again, it's not talent.
Right.
That's why Aaron Hackett left, in my opinion. I know Aaron Hackett. He's very good, loves Syracuse and all that stuff. Listen, this is my hometown. I am speaking from a place of concern. I'm speaking from a place... I'm not saying anything the alumni wouldn't say. The alumni say worse.
Right.
You know, I'm not speaking from a place of non-reality. Tell me one good thing about this offense. Sean Tucker.
Right.
Tell me one good thing about the scheming and the game planning and the play making. Tell me something about the play calling of this offense that should make me excited.
can't. At this moment, no, you can't.
Nothing.
Nothing that you see on in the game that you're like, all right, they did that well. Now when they're going to come back to that.
No, I just looked at the Ohio game and said, wow, they ran the ball well. Look at what they did against Rutgers. They stopped running.
Right. And if Rutgers did something to force you to stop running the ball, where was your adjustments to counter that? Because if you put that game plan of Ohio on tape for Rutgers to see,
yeah,
you should have been ready for, okay, now they know this.
Yeah, and then Rutgers is like, they're not even trying to run.
Right.
But the thing is, again, if you ran it and it worked against Ohio and you ran it and it didn't work against Rutgers, you're a Division I-A FBS Power 5 coach. You should have other plans. Mm-hmm. I coach soccer for 8 to 11-year-olds, and if it wasn't working the way that I had it, I'm not going to run that for the rest of the season and look like an idiot.
Right.
In my head, I'm going, okay, let me move this guy out of goal. Let me put this guy over here. Let me try this. Let me try and create a play for us. Let me move should I move my forward? Should I put this kid? If it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
Right.
But you should know how to adjust.
Right.
How do you sit at a post-game press conference, like, okay, and say, well, the run didn't work, so we lost. So you got no other plan? I mean, and I'm not saying that he said, I'm just saying, that's what I'm seeing from this offense, is if plan A doesn't work, then we lose.
Right.
What's plan A? That you just hope to God that every pass that Tommy made in practice, because when he dropped, it's just drop. It looks like practice. Mm-hmm. It looks like this is just practice. So if I'm watching this, I'm going, okay, pick, cheat there. If I'm Greg Schiano, I'm going, dude, when he hikes it and Sean Tucker, when he turns his body, I'm just going to have a linebacker cheat forward.
Right.
I'm going to send 2 guys against Taj at all times down the field. I'm going to know how to do this. And don't worry about stacking the box because they don't run enough.
Right.
But it's like, how do you not see what you need to be doing? For the life of me, I just can't understand it.
Yeah.
I can't understand why this is Division I-A football, because it's not.
Yeah. Well, maybe they setting it up for the conference. Maybe what we seeing now.
They did that last year?
Todd's going to be a decoy, and they're going to throw to somebody.
They did that last year?
I'll just say.
They did that last year?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. What's the definition of insanity?
Repeat the same thing
over and over and over again, hoping for a different result. So, again, and if I'm a player, I'm getting frustrated because now I'm looking stupid.
Right.
Now I'm looking dumb. So it's... And in the offensive line, first game allowed 1 sack, second game 6. 6. And you know what? Some of those, Tommy and Garrett hiked that ball, and those guys were in their face the second after the ball got hiked. So that's an offensive line problem. Not all of them are on the offensive line, but those ones, yes.
Right, but when you bring more than you can block, somebody got to be open somewhere, or a check down got to be quicker.
Right.
It's just... And right now, what I see for DeVito is he freezes like a deer in headlights in pressure.
Because if the first read's not there,
right,
you have to be able to adjust. I would think in my brain, hey, Dan, you're probably not going to be a D1 quarterback if when you're playing you have really good arm strength, but you can only throw to your first read and then you get flustered if you go to the second or third.
Mm-hmm.
I would think that anybody would see that on film and go, okay.
Right.
So let's try something else. But, the 2 quarterback system doesn't work. Troy Nunes and R.J. Anderson were talented, but it always took away from something. So you're going to have to make a choice. And I just don't see what the hurt is in putting Schrader out there for this entire game. Because if he's out there for a whole game, guess what? Mm-hmm. Then the defense isn't thinking, oh, my God, he's out here, he's running.
Exactly.
He can't run on 40 plays,
or
50 plays, or can he? Or Dino's like, I got you. But, I mean, it is. It's just giving the fans this is... It's like you gave your wife a toaster for Christmas and you saw her face. And then you wrapped the same toaster the next Christmas and you gave it to her. I expect her to hit you over the head with the box with the toaster in it. I do.
Yeah. But what if you? Well, she was a good person with toast. I don't know.
What is she? Why?
She was real good with toast. She just loved the toaster.
She'd still say, "Why do I have the same toaster the second year?" She'd be like, "Honey, we already got toast. We need something else now. Coffee.
We need a waffle maker.
We need a waffle maker. How about you cook?
Right,
you know."
Right.
So it's hard, and just this game was just.
It was just frustrating just to see that they let that game get away. Because, like you say, Rutgers wasn't nothing special about Rutgers in that game offensively.
Nothing.
And their defense capitalized on pressure. And
Well, that concerns me against Albany
mistake.
because Rutgers was so nothing.
Right.
That it's like, well, people are like, well, Albany is a step below. And I'm like, yeah, but Rutgers didn't do anything.
Right. And Albany can copycat what Rutgers just did. Because if you don't adjust, we'll see if the adjustments are made this week.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What did they learn from that? Maybe they learned more in this loss than they learned in that first win.
Well, let me ask you
the
this
whole proverbial we're better in the second game than the first game was.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this question. Because I asked this to Dino, as you know, after the game. 4th and 10. Rutgers 41. Mm-hmm. You're on their side of the field. Inside 8 minutes. It's 4th and 10. You're down by 10. You're on their side of the field. And they've already proven they can hold on to the ball for over 6 minutes in one possession. I asked Dino why he didn't go for it, and Dino said if it was 4th and 5, 4th and 6, if we had gotten 6, gotten 4, then I would have went for it because it would have been shorter. But 4th and 10 is hard. I'm paraphrasing, but you know what he said.
Right.
He said if it was 4th and 5, he'd feel better about it. But 4th and 10's a lot. He thought his defense could pin him. Yada yada yada. And I'm still looking at it going, yeah. And then on their next drive, you blew all 3 of your timeouts. Mm-hmm. So you not only had bad time management, but you had a bad decision. You're down by 10 on their side of the field, and it's 4th and 10. Well, I didn't want it to be 4th and 10. Well, nobody wanted you to be down by 10.
Right.
But it's 4th and 10. It's better than 4th and 20.
Right.
So do you go for it on 4th and 10 on your opponent's side of the field under 8 minutes to play down 10?
With this offense?
In general.
In general, yes.
Okay.
There's no way you cannot go for it.
But
this is a 2-score game.
Right.
So you need to get not only
but with
you need
this
to score,
offense,
you need to score again.
With this offense, you don't even know if you're going to get back onto their side of the field again.
Right. Well, yeah, exactly. But that's the problem, you know.
I thought it was a win just for them to cross the S.
Right. That's how bad the execution was in that game.
To not be punting the ball from inside your own 30.
Right.
Or 20.
And it's a lost cause. If you didn't stop that team on that first series when you made that decision to punt the ball,
yeah,
that was it. The game was over. You know, the writing was on the wall. There was no chance that, you know, Rutgers was going to do anything wild. They just ran the ball and kept the ball from Syracuse.
If I'm Shiano looking at that 4th and 10, because he went for it on 4th and short when he got stopped by Michael Jones. But seeing that, if I'm Shiano, I'm going, they just gave me the game.
Mm-hmm. But you know his adjustment was after they lost that 4th down with McHale hitting the running back. If you notice the rest of the game, when they went forward on 4th or 3rd, they went Wildcat with their Wildcat quarterback or whoever that other 21 that came off. You know,
changing things.
So they basically made Syracuse match up 1-for-1.
And made adjustments.
Yeah, exactly. So they wasn't going to allow the running back and the linebacker to come through a gap, you know.
That's what I was taught in everything in life. You have to be able to ad-lib.
Right.
Because very rarely does your first plan ever work or work the way that you expect it to.
Right. You can script all the plays you want. That's not going to be the way it's going to go down.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you can tell, you can see in I almost feel like Dino's playing a game thinking it's supposed to be practice. Well, this is what we orchestrated in practice. Why didn't it happen this way? Because you're in control.
Right.
You're not in control when another team's on the other side of you. So in all honesty,
but that should be the advantage of the offense, though, wouldn't you think? If you don't control what they're doing, but they shouldn't know what you're capable of doing, but yet they do.
Yeah, because you telegraph and you do the same thing all the time.
Right. So you would think an offense would be able to be creative enough to have some kind of adjustments.
Well, you would think a guy who is an offensive guy would have 97 plays.
Right.
But I feel like he has 3.
Right.
And if he's holding on, I'm going, well, he's waited 6 years to show him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what are you going to wait in your back pocket and go, Clemson, I've waited 6 years and 4 games, but wait for this. And bam, there it is. You know what I mean? It's like...
But you know what? It almost feels like that, though.
So you can win one game?
Think about that game that they beat Clemson and those plays that Irv Phillips was going down the middle of the field. The middle of the field, not the sideline.
Yeah.
Catching people not paying attention. Have you seen these plays again?
So are you willing to lose to get there? Because I said that season, I said Syracuse has to win 2 of their next 6 games to get to a bowl game. And the girl that I was with at the time, she goes, well, that seems easy enough. I go, I said, you don't understand. That probably means they're going to lose them all. And they did.
Exactly.
And this is the thing. I said this too that year. I said, Syracuse beating Clemson means nothing if they don't go to a bowl game. If they beat Clemson and they go 4-8, then people say every squirrel gets a nut. Appalachian State, Akron, every squirrel gets a nut. Every squirrel gets a nut. As opposed to, wow, this is a pretty good team. Because who remembers 4-8?
Right, exactly.
Who remembers that? Who remembers Clemson? Oh, Clemson lost to Syracuse. All that looks like is, oh, crap. That was a bad day.
Right.
That was a bad day in a long line of championships and playing for championships. It was a bad day. Mm-hmm. So when you're 4-8 and you're like, yeah, but we beat the reigning national champion, but you're 4-8. You're 4-8. That's the truth of it. If it's 4-8, 4-8, 10-3, 5-7, 1-10, and you're rolling headfirst into 4-8 again. So if you want to hold all this stuff until Clemson, so you don't have it against Albany, you don't have it against Liberty, you don't have it against Florida State, you're willing to potentially go 1-2, just to put it together. So you're 1-1 right now. You're going to be 2-3 in hopes of going 3-3. And then you think you're going to beat you're going to beat 3 more teams after that when you have to play Wake Forest, who figured you out, NC State, who figured you out, Louisville, who figured you out, BC, who figured you out, Pittsburgh, who's figured you out. Everybody on the rest of your schedule knows what you're going to do.
Right. And the other side to it was not only do they figure you out, but again, they can impose their will on you.
Yeah. How come other teams can impose their will? Yeah. How come we can go into a game going, wow, Pitt's going to run the ball, and then Pitt runs the ball.
Right.
For 300 yards.
Right. And you know what? God bless the defense, because they'll hold themselves for the first 3 quarters, but
yeah,
3 and
can't
outs
hold it forever, yeah.
3 and outs in the 4th quarter is a done deal.
I don't care how good your defense is.
Right.
When you make them stay on the field the majority of the time, eventually it's just gonna. I mean, these are human bodies; these aren't robots.
Right.
You put the defense on the field for 35 minutes. No.
Yeah.
No. I mean, there was games where the defense was on the field for 40 minutes. Syracuse had the ball for 19 minutes in a game. 19 minutes. Mm-hmm. That means the other 41 minutes, the other team had the ball.
Exactly.
And we saw last year, Wake Forest had one drive that lasted almost 8 minutes. I don't even think they scored off of it. I think they might have missed a field goal or they made the field goal. They took 7.5 minutes. They took half of a quarter off.
Right. And the legs of your defense for the rest of the game.
Yeah, because your defense is just back up 2 yards, back up 3 yards. And it's debilitating to be back slowly into your own wall.
Right.
So, all we're asking is if the defense is here and the offense is, you can't see it because it's off screen, folks. This is not a thing. It's just reality. It's so low you can't see it. I'm asking the offense to just come here. Mm-hmm. Just give me something. Give the defense, give Josh Black an opportunity to sip his water.
Exactly.
That's all I'm asking. And to say that this locker room is totally, oh, we're all together. No. No. You might be brothers, you might be family, but after a game like that, I would go up to my quarterback and go, if I'm on the field for 40 minutes in the next game, you're not going to want to see me after that. Like, I don't know how the defense and the offense can't fight with each other. I don't know how the coordinators can't argue, because one's making the other look bad.
Right. the ineptitude of one is dragging down the strength of the other one.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Because we look at the defense and it's like, yeah, well, Syracuse lost by 10, and I'm like, yeah, look at what they did.
Right.
It's just, I mean, again, Rutgers did absolutely nothing. But when your offense sputters, comes out of halftime and goes nowhere and sputters out and can't even score a point, no. You're a Division 1A team. You should never be shut out of a half. And you're playing Rutgers. And they're lucky if they go 1-8 or 1-9 in the Big Ten.
Yeah, I just get ready to say they're probably going to lose, if not all, majority of their Big
You'll be one of their 3 wins this year.
Right.
So just do better, and you got to beat Albany by 3 touchdowns. In my opinion, they got to blow them out in order for this game to matter.
Right. I just want to see execution. Yeah, definitely blow them out, but you got to come out with some kind of confidence in this game. You know what I'm saying? And give other people some opportunities, man. I mean, you can't tell me this is the group and personnel group, and you're going to.
This is the game to play Jacoby and Morgan,
right.
But you might not even play Schrader.
Right.
If they don't play Schrader after this, honestly, I said this 3 to 4 weeks in, I think he's going to want to say something about it. If they don't play Schrader, I really do. If I honestly feel like he's going to, because he's not going to have that.
Right. No, I'm listening to you. I would rather Schrader go out there, ball out, and then give somebody else an opportunity to go out there.
Yeah.
Other than DeVito, I mean, we see DeVito got it. Yeah, again, it's not personal, but let Schrader build up a lead, and let's bring somebody else out there and let them, get a little.
And if Schrader botches it and he plays horrible, then Dino can say, hey, as bad as you think Tommy is, I'm right, because the guy behind him can't even beat Albany.
Right. That's scary to think.
And I don't believe that for a second.
Right.
But we'll see. Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora live every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Watch on youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. Facebook.com/wakeupcalldt and Facebook.com/livenowdt, and listening on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt, as well as wakeupcalldt.com's homepage. And once the shows go live, you can search the archives. Over 1,500 shows are in Podbean alone. iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Spotify, Stitcher, MixLR, YouTube, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts. Search Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, or one word, Wake Up Call DT. And a proud thanks to all of our Central and Upstate New York partners: Cafe Kubal, Carvel DeWitt, the Wildcat Sports Pub, Progressive Dental, Pizza Man, Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay, Lemoyne Dolphins, Avicoli's, Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. Go anywhere in the country to maandpaspopcorn.com and use the promo code DT20 for 20% off on me. Canine Camp Dog Daycare, Millhouse Market, Canine Campground Dog Boarding, PB&J's Lunchbox, Victory Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, Mother's Cupboard, and Honda City of Liverpool. With that being said, Isaac, any final notes?
Yeah, look, we're behind the team. It's obvious. We cheer, root for them. Just go out there and put on a good performance, and make sure we go with the right path forward. Because
all I'm saying is, for me to leave the game the way that I did and feel as frustrated as I did, that's unique.
Right.
Normally I'm going, okay, glass half full, let me see. And I did. I was like, you know what? I can't even say anything to the fans right now.
No, I felt it from you. At the end of that game, I felt it from you. And I think everybody that left that game had that same feeling. So
yeah, I mean, I just sat there saying, this defense has worked so hard to be, and to waste this defense after Syracuse's defense was so bad for such a long time, after it was over a decade that they really had a good defensive back core, and now you lose Trill, Iffy, and Andre Sisco, and you have Jihad Carter, Rob Hanna, Garrett Williams, Deuce Chestnut. It's like, come on, I'm looking at this and I know that we know the woes of the Syracuse defense, and to see how hard this team has worked and how individually talented these guys are on the line, at linebacker, as DBs, it's such a waste to them, and it's just wrong, and it makes me frustrated to say why can't Syracuse ever have an offense and a defense?
Yeah, I was just going to say that. It seemed like always if the offense is clicking, then the defense is giving up 35, 40 points a game.
Yeah.
And now you got a defense that's kind of stingy, it creates turnovers, but now the offense is not even putting up 20 a game.
Catalyst for the game. Let's pick one offensive, one defensive. Let's prognosticate a little bit here. Give me an offensive player and a defensive player on Syracuse.
Offensive player, Schrader. Definitely, I want to see him come out and put something on film. Defensively, any one of the linebackers,
Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Schrader, so I'll say somebody different. I'm gonna say offensively, Sean Tucker, let him run. Anthony Quealy, give him some more opportunity. And then I'm gonna say defensively, my dude, my guy who, just he's an awesome guy. And he was walking out of one of the interviews, and I was talking to one of his teammates, and he came over to him, and he was like, "How you doing, sir?" Marlowe Wax, Marlowe Wax Jr., number 2, baby. Let's make it happen. I want 2 big plays. I want a forced fumble and a pick, Wax. Let's do this.
Pick 6. How about that?
How about that? How about them apples? So, yeah, I'm feeling good about Quealy in this one. I am.
Yeah.
So we'll see, but yes, I mean, obviously, constructive criticism, never destructive, never a personal attack. You're never going to get that on Wake Up Call. I want Dino to show us why he's the coach. I want Tommy to show why he's the starter. And I want this offense to show why it's supposed to work. And if it's not working, then I want them to change it and be willing to say, hey, we're wrong. Let's fix this. Let's get better. Because we get better together. And as long as the team is improving, even if it's tiny, even if it's just if here's the incline and it's just and it's not but it's just a little, even if it's just that, as long as you are steadily improving, no matter how small that is, the fans will give you some, you'll start to feel some of that from people that are logical. As long as they're seeing improvement, you'll get that love consistently. It's when you don't see the improvement.
Right.
So, Syracuse, please go out there, show us what you got. Let's have some fun. And as always, stay safe, stay well, folks. Please get to the game safe and sound. And please don't watch it on your phone. Go to the game, okay? And just go to the game. It's $5, all right? So play poker tonight, win a bunch of dough, and then buy people tickets. I've seen people try to give them away on Facebook for free. So just go to the game tonight, or go to the game this weekend, Albany at Syracuse. Go support the Orange. Go support the Great Danes. Let's have fun. Let's enjoy this I-90 battle, and let's have a good time. And Syracuse fans, please show out. And remember, you had this taken away from you for almost 2 years, so just show up. I know it's frustrating and upsetting at times, but when you love your family, you can say things, you can do things, but it's always with love, it's always constructive, and you always want to see everybody succeed. So if this is your family and this is your hometown and this is what you care about and you wear your orange proud, show up to the game and show these players and show these coaches that you mean that. Dino should never have to ask you to stay. So that being said, for Isaac Alford, myself, Dan Tortora, once again, Facebook at Wake Up Call DT, Twitter at Call DT, and Instagram at Wake Up Call _DT. Plenty of stuff coming up all throughout the game on my social media, so check it out. And we'll see you soon on wakeupcalldt.com 24/7. And as always, from inside the Cafe Kubal studios, God bless, no stress.